And we are back for year number, what, four?
Three.
Year number three of the 915 High School Football Insider Show. I'm your host, Chase Smith, with my guy, Ernesto Jordan. Our other part of our crew, Mr. Brent Hallman, unfortunately couldn't be here today. He had some fatherly duties to take care of. But hey, you guys will get to see him next week. First off, welcome back, everyone. Football's finally back. No more of this preseason stuff. It's time to go. Rock and rolling on Friday night. A couple games to watch out for. Excited for that for sure. Just before we kind of dig into the stuff, Ernesto, tell me a little bit about just what you heard of or seen from like scrimmages and spring ball and whatnot, and even with some of these interviews with these coaches. Kind of give me a rundown on that.
Well, the interviews with all the coaches have been real good. Just the ones that I've done with Brent and Ben, it's been pretty good. Seeing them coaches and seeing like how they want to buy in the community and everything like that, and how they're trying to get the boys riled up and everything, ready to go for the season. So I think the coaches are ready. I think all the coaches are ready. Scrimmages, I've seen it. Watched a couple scrimmages. It's a scrimmage. Like this, it's like they're doing. Was it 15?
Yeah, you can't really see too much.
Yeah.
In scrimmages.
So because you see they run heavy. It's like, okay, then they throw a pass and it's like, oh, all right, cool.
Because you get a lot. Like I know you get a lot of teams that they go out there and you get people in the stands like watching them like they're week one opponents. So coaches know that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to just open up everything.
Exactly.
So do you keep score at a scrimmage?
Absolutely not. You may keep account of how many touchdowns you score, but not like a real 35, 20, because you don't kick extra points when you score a touchdown. You just riverside it and start over again.
I mean, that same thing. I don't see what's the point is keeping score, but I get it. Everybody wants to keep score because everybody wants to say who won and all this stuff. But at the same time, it should be just trying to get better. Seeing if this play works. Can I run this guy here? Can I put this lineman here? Can I put this quarterback in? That's what I look at. I just look at it trying to get your team better and your kids better. But
yeah, exactly, definitely. So now with that being said, all this preseason stuff is on. Let's go ahead and talk about week one. Everybody knows about this game. You guys see it come up on our screen too, I believe. Week one of our games of the week. I guess the big one for everybody in El Paso. Eastwood, they travel down to West California, SoCal, to take on St. John Bosco. We all know the number three ranked squad this year in the USA. Coming off a big win against the Florida team from Chaminade is actually closer than what you thought of. I watched that game from start to finish, and it was quite a game for sure. Everyone knows they're a private school team stacked with a bunch of 3, 4, 5-star athletes and whatnot. And just two of their guys. Before we talk let's talk a little bit about Eastwood. They have I don't know what star athlete he is, but number 3 receiver Daniel Odom. I watched him make a touchdown, do a celebration. It was a flag. Came back the very next play, caught a fade ball, did the same exact celebration. I said, yeah, that kid is something special. And then something that I think the Eastwood offense line is going to have their problems with is number 4, Epi Sitan Nile. He's a 6'4" DN. With that kind of name, he's some kind of Polynesian, so he's going to be a little bit special.
mm-hmm.
Just a little bit about Eastwood. Their biggest thing is their front 7
mm-hmm.
on the defense side of the ball. It's going to be good to see how those guys hold up against that offensive line up there. But just a little bit about their skills and their O-line. What are they kind of looking for? Kind of going to depend on this weekend, the year moving forward.
I think, the big one is going to be their defensive line. One of the guys, he's a captain on that team. We all know him, Conrad.
Friend of the show.
He's going to be anchoring that D-line for Eastwood. Now, don't get it wrong, though. It's him, and I know they have Jonathan as well.
Yeah, friend of the show.
And there's also, he's a friend of the show, and there's also another DN, I think it was another D lineman that's there, too. I cannot remember his name, but he looks pretty good.
And there's one more, too. His name is Aiden Vera.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a 2-year rotation / starter guy as well. He plays defensive tackle. So that's another one that kind of is big on that, too. And as far as linebacker-wise, they got I think almost all the linebackers came back, and they got a real solid addition as well coming over from Eldorado Muscles.
Yeah, I think that's going to be good for them. That's their front 7. I think their front 7 is going to be good. They're going to be loaded. I'm excited to see how they're going to look going against Bosco, because I'm from California. And I know who Bosco is.
Right.
And that's a big test. That's a big test for them.
Yeah, kudos to Coach Lopez again for that, because you don't see no one here in El Paso. You rarely, you see it about the top tier teams in Texas, but in El Paso, no one's ever done this before. I think it's good exposure, because you may get guys like Conrad or John or whoever, they may end up with 2-3 sacks against their first team, and then the coaches go back and look at film like, who's this guy? Mm-hmm. From El Paso, oh damn, now look, you're on the radar that fast.
Exactly.
And something like that, and just moving over to the offensive side of the ball. I know they have a couple new starters they lost from that talented O-line they had last year. But their anchor is going to be Bryce Ivy, who's also one of their team captains this year, a senior. Mm-hmm. He does bring experience. And as far as I know, there's a possibility of a 3-man QB rotation at Eastwood. Can't remember the names off the top of my head. I know one for sure. His last name's Cox. I think he's going to be a sophomore or junior this year. He was their per se third string guy last year behind Cruz and behind Evan. So I know that's going to happen. I think it's going to be a solid 3-man rotation that they could look at this game. Sucks it happens to be this game where all these guys are getting but it's really good for them coming back heading into week 2. Mm-hmm. And of course, they're the main guys from last year, Alex, Jude, Jaden as well. And then I guess they're really the big name guy coming back is Fabian Pinojosa, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Sorry if I mess up your name, buddy. But I know that's their top player to watch offensively, minus Alex, and a plethora of running backs that they can just throw at you.
And Jude Walker. Did you mention Jude
Walker? Yeah, and then Jude Walker as well, who was actually playing safety last year. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say because they didn't need him at receiver, but they really didn't, because they had talented receivers already. So that's another good transition over to the offensive side of the ball.
If I'm talking about Jude, when I seen was the spring game, I seen him at slot a lot, and he was killing it in the slot. So I think whoever on Bosco is going to guard him, he's going to give somebody a little bit. I think he'll give somebody some trouble, right? Because they're going to look at everybody else and be like, "Oh, he got no speed," but that kid he's pretty quick off the ball
and very good hands.
Yes, very good hands.
And catches everything.
And it's something about you don't talk about moral victories in this beautiful sport of football, but games like this, if you find something that you could build off of, especially with Coach Lopez, is that mind he has, the offensive mind he has is freaking crazy. I watched him call plays on the sideline one time. He just throws one hand up, and like that's the play. It's like it makes it so simple and so basic, but there's so many schemes behind it, and he knows how to really pick apart a defense.
That one hand can mean pass.
It can mean exactly.
It can mean anything. So
exactly, and he really knows how to really just deep dive and really pick apart a defense, and that really get on the line, snap the ball in 2 seconds. Really messes with you. Yeah. So that's the big game this week. I guess the biggest thing is Eastwood going to be able to handle the big stage, because it's going to be packed out. It's their first home game of the year, and not take this as a business trip. Mm-hmm. Enjoy yourselves. Yes. Enjoy the per se vacation from school, whatever. But still enjoy. Go out there and play hard, because you never know who's watching. Exactly. There's guys like that. There's scouts out there from day one. Yeah. From game one, game one,
all the way up. Freshmen that's on varsity.
Yeah, exactly. Because you got freshmen, sophomores that are 3 stars, 4 stars already.
It's going to be. Look, the thing with Eastwood, I know they have players on that team that we've coached that have played out of town, that played California teams, that play different teams in Texas, Georgia, and whatsoever. But I want to see if those kids if they step up to the bright light. I don't want if the bright light is too bright for them. That we gonna know.
But the cameras all around you.
Yeah, exactly.
Cameras everywhere.
And Bosco's field is
yeah, they're gonna be right on top.
They're gonna be right on top of you, yelling at you. So
you're gonna have those cameras right there, those social media influencers that's gonna go watch them play, and like I say, don't end up on TikTok in a bad way.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Don't end up on TikTok. I don't want to see. I don't want to see none of that on no kind of social media. Yeah, I don't want to see none of that.
Everybody know who that is. He does it every. He does it every game he watches it. So.
But we'll just here at the show, we definitely want to give our best wishes and safe travels, of course, as well, because it takes some cojones to go out there and play someone like that.
Let me ask you guys a question. This kind of reminds me of about 4 years ago. The Broncos took on the San Antonio Outlaws there at DB Field. I don't know if you guys remember that back 4 years ago. Now it's common for El Paso teams to travel out of town and take on these big dogs from out of town in the youth level. Do you feel like high schools are going to start mimicking what Eastwood's done this year? Travel, play someone big.
It's not so much. It just depends how they're. Me personally, I think how successful they'll be. If they go out there and they put up 14, 21 points, and God, they hold them to about 45, 50 points. That's a success. Of course, you go out there to win, and as a coach, you coach to win. But I think you go out there like that. I mean, that's a success. I don't know exactly like that because teams reached out to Julio. So teams reach out to him, and they look and see it, and they realize, hey, this guy's started 10 years ago, and he's won 7 gold balls in 10 years, whether it's the playoffs or whether it's districts. And in those 3 years, he still made the playoffs. I think mine is like 1 year. So it's like, okay, this guy's special. Let me get this guy's team out here. So I think once that continues to go like that, and all that too, it just comes with the money part. They're the El Paso's finest for a reason because they got the money. So I think that's a big thing as well.
Yeah, and I think it'll be good. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be. I want to see the coaches. So I want to see Lopez versus the Bosco coach because from what I read about that Bosco coach, he's got a lot of accolades. So he has a lot of accolades.
When you got a fat ring on your finger,
Yeah,
it doesn't say state, that says national champion. Yeah, that's a big difference.
He got coach of the year a couple times, so it's that's a good resume. But at the same time, hey, let's see.
Yeah, he's had a couple Gatorade Players of the Week and whatnot, and out of Texas and whatnot, from Andrew Martinez to Richie to Evan. So guys like that just keeps on going. But hey, like I said again, best wishes to them. We're going to keep this moving on. All right, so go ahead and move on. We're gonna just kind of breach this a little bit, talk about a couple players. Many people know about this year. We got 2 going down from Del Valle. Jake Fetty, the 4-star, who has a couple of Power 4 schools. Talking to him with Texas on the run. And then Manny Fuller, who has verbally committed to the University of Utah. But as we all know, verbal commits, they could go away like this in a heartbeat. You do got Zarian Quells over there at Pebble Hills. The one that people seem to have forgotten about in El Paso because of his school not being as good as it should be is Justin Morales. I watched a couple clips from the scrimmage where he picked the dude up off his feet and just piled him into the ground. That's
He
a
looks,
grown man.
he looks like the real deal, man. His arms look like a NFL
And he's
offensive
6'3",
tackle.
he's 6'3", 260, and he can move.
Tell you
That's
not the
stupid.
kid. That's not the kid I remember.
That's stupid. If Coach Walden doesn't do whatever he can to keep that boy here in El Paso.
Well, I'm
couple of
hearing
these kids.
also he's going both ways. Morales.
He has to. He has to.
I think it's DN and
Nose guard. He's playing nose guard.
Nose guard. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he got over there at Riverside the little short man who killed it as a freshman last year, Carlos Rojas. He's already drawn interest from UTEP, and of course, a couple more coming his way over there at Riverfront Stadium. Mr. Lockwood from Cantil, who everybody knows of already, received a couple offers already. Couple D2 schools. Lalo Carrillo as well, who has received an offer from UTPB. He's entering his 4th year as a starter on varsity at corner, so that experience is going to help out as well. The big name who's I'm shocked hasn't got more D1 quality looks, and he should have, is Conrad Joseph Garcia. The Conrad I remember was a little, not so much fat, but he was a little chubby Conrad who was slow, and then that man just turned into a completely different person. And that fast.
Hey, once you get to high school,
he could be a completely different person. And then of course, the 2 big names since they were freshmen, Davion Singleton and Ryan Mary Estrada, who was actually coming off of a hamstring injury from last year. I think he would be close to reaching 4,000 this year, all career yards, if it wasn't for his hamstring last year. And then Davion, of course, is just does his thing, and they're both still juniors as well. There's a couple other kids that we just forgot to. You still got Trotman from Eastlake, Cam Johnson from Americas, who looked really well in the scrimmage, and just some guys overall that's gonna shock some people. No one on here mentioned is the Coronado boys, just because there's so many of them. They're all talented athletes for sure. They're gonna shock some people.
they're gonna shock a lot of people. I think they will. I think 6A is gonna be very interesting. I think.
definitely.
Yeah, I like that receiver for Coronado, Coach Golden's son. I think his name is Chase.
Kaysen.
He's got the height, the speed. It was deceptive when I saw him last year. He impressed me.
Yeah, because last year everything was going to not Ben Wilson. It was the quarterback.
Levesky?
Yeah, no, not Levesque. It was the receiver. He was killing people too. I forget his name. So Kaysen was just out there destroying one-on-one coverage. But now I think you'll see him get a lot more
touches,
a lot more touches, and two, a lot more shells over top of him as well. Because if you leave him one-on-one, he already has a basketball height on him. He's a heck of a basketball player too. So you don't want a jump ball. I think 9 out of 10 times he's gonna get that pass for sure. So now that we got finished talking about these tremendous athletes that we should keep an eye out for, we're gonna go through a couple of these rankings that we got from different I guess companies per se you could say, or different forums. Starting off with the Borderlands Sports. I think the most obvious that everyone has them at. You got Delvalle at number 1. Here on these one they have Pebble Hills at 2, Canutillo 3, Eastwood 4, Americas 5, Franklin at 6. Chapin at 7, Coronado at 8, Eastlake at 9, and Mauwood at 10. I think with that, as of right now, I think Pebbles is a little bit too high. I would drop them down maybe 2 or 3 spots. And I've been telling people, you can't dethrone top dog team until they get dethroned. So there's no reason why Eastwood shouldn't be in the top 3 until they get beat. They were the best team in the city the last 2 years. Well, years and a half, I guess you could say, because they're tied up with Pebble Hills, but. Not too shabby. I wouldn't have Mountwood in there for sure.
Yeah, I don't think you put Mountwood there at 10. I'm sorry, Mountwood. A-Rod, apologize for that, man, but I think Mountwood should be out. And then you bring in, who do you bring in their spot if you don't agree with it?
They got no 4A schools in here, so it's kind of a slap in the face to Riverside.
Yeah.
After they ran 4A, they lasted 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah,
Ever since really Recorder's been there, when he was there, they were running 4A. So I think something like that. What you think?
Like I said before, the
Rank,
This is like a preseason ranking
per se, yeah.
And like everybody, and I know why we do it. And I love why we do it because I like the whole concept where everybody gets riled up. Oh, we should be here. We should be here. Y'all ain't even play a game yet. Right. Let's go 2-3 games.
Don't
and
base
see
it
what
off of scrimmages.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like a couple people from a team down in the lower valley. They were kind of dominated this team in the scrimmage and beat them in the scrimmage. We're gonna destroy the city this year, but then can't win a home game in the playoffs for 3 years in a row.
And not to talk trash about
right.
the team.
And
this is that's like Pebble Hills playing Chaparral in the scrimmage, and Pebble Hills score 15 touchdowns, and be like, yeah, they're great. Well, it's Chaparral, and nothing against Chaparral, but that's 2 different teams.
I know a couple teams that played against them in actual games, and they say, hoorah, we're great, but hey.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Prep 1's top 12.
Okay, top 12. So I see 11 here, but that's fine. Delvalle is at 1. Canutillo is at 2. It's expected. Pebble Hills and Eastwood and Eastlake round out the top 5. The 2 West Side schools in Franklin and Coronado are 6 and 7. El Dorado is 8. Chapin is 9. Americas is 10. Mountwood's 11. And I forget who was 12.
Was Andrews 12?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. But let's just say Andrews. So that's been one of the big debates.
Exactly. And I'm going to talk about that. Something that we can talk about, especially being more of a Northeast guy than us.
Yeah.
But word on the street is that Andrews is going to put up a lot of points this year and shock a lot of people this year. And no, they did stay humble about saying Delvalle and Canutillo, but as far as all the other teams that they're going to beat the brakes off of, so people have them going 8-2, 7-3. I can't say much because I think some controversy is going to happen down the way at that school. And if this OC really is a new savior, like people are saying, shout out to him for sure.
So the new OC, I'm not taking anything from because when he did at Bel Air, he was putting up points.
Right.
Putting up points. So I can say he does put up points.
Right.
But at the same time, it was who Bel Air.
You gotta put up points
and not to be like Bel Air kids play their butts off, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's not, they don't make the schedule. They go out there, they play whatever, whoever's in front of them, they play them. I get it. But at the same time, too, it's like, we'll see. And don't get me wrong, I think, what's his name, Coach O? They call him Coach O. I think he'll do good. I think they'll score points.
Coach Q.
Coach Q, sorry, Coach Q. I think they'll put up points. They have skilled kids out there. They do have some skilled kids. They do have a running back. I do like that running back. He is a downhill runner.
2 freshmen too.
Yeah, well,
They got 2 freshmen, a lineman and a receiver.
Yeah, they got 2 freshmen. I forgot what the freshman lineman name was, but I know he played with
Northeast Raiders, and then he played with Prolific.
Yeah,
Finish off. Yeah.
And I've seen him at their not their scrimmage, but I've seen him at their Midnight Madness, and he was.
Is it Chavez? Last name Chavez?
I believe, sounds familiar. Sounds like it.
I think it's like Jacob or something like that.
Yeah, all I know, he was picking them up and putting them down,
Yeah.
and these were sophomore, these are varsity, senior, like these are varsity players, and I'm seeing he was pancaking kids, and I was like, well, I was impressed. The other one they have is Avant, and we all know who Avant is. When I see him, they had him in the slot, and he was catching balls, he was running crisp routes. I think he's gonna surprise. I ain't gonna say he's surprise a lot of people, but to me, he ain't gonna surprise me.
You think he's gonna have one of those breakout years like how Ray and Davion kind of had?
I think so.
Like that, like D1 offers after freshman year.
This is my thing. We all know who he is. He's known in Texas, and he's probably known in a couple states. Yeah. But my thing is, well, if he work, his work ethic is good. So I can see him getting it. Now the same thing, if they feed him the ball, he's gonna get it.
Right.
He's gonna get it. If they feed him the ball, he's gonna get it. But at the same time, for him too, he's a freshman. He's playing varsity. The speed of the game might be a little bit different.
Yeah, and then they make it.
And then you know what I'm saying. But with him, I think he'll pick it up and he'll know what he needs to do.
I watched him in the 7-on-7. He looked good. He competed. He competed with the bigger boys. So I think he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah.
Now replicating what Davion and Ray did, that's a tough task. But I hope he does, because that just shows to you the importance of youth football, right?
And and I think before we continue to our top 10 here at the show, the biggest thing, I think, my opinion is, who's going to play quarterback. Whether it's going to be Jamari, whether it's going to be Urbina, whether one can play a different position. I see Urbina more as an athlete where he can play another position if need be. If Jamari's going to play quarterback or vice versa. So I think that's the biggest thing as well. And I always have someone that, if someone goes down or something crazy happens, you have that other guy that you can actually lean on. So I think that's a big thing. Of course, I wish both kids the best.
And I know Jamari, he's ready. He's ready.
You can see it in his eyes.
You can see it in his eyes. Like watching him throw the ball, the way he talks now he's there. He's mature. He's ready to go. He wants that competition. He was competing.
Right.
He was competing. He wants it. So do I see it? Could it happen? It could happen. I don't know. I don't know what the coaches are thinking. It could happen. It could happen to where he does play quarterback, and he, maybe the second game of the season he's starting quarterback, or in the middle of the season he starts quarterback.
Or they just simply rotate.
Or they rotate him out.
Rotate him like that, and when it comes time for district, that first game is like, all right, well, it's district play now, because they only get 2 preseason games. No, they get 2.
Yeah, you're right, 2. I'm
sorry.
So
one is El Dorado. I can't remember who the other one is.
Is it mid? No, it's not mid.
No, I think it's someone here locally.
It's local.
But I know. But yeah, that's something that maybe one starts this game, one starts the next one. And it's based off of that.
If they do that, do the quarterback rotation, and just to see, who, because you're still going to feel it out. You're going to see who's going to do what. Okay, yeah, he does good on this play. Okay, he does better on this play.
Right.
All right, and then they're going to, it might come down to it. Or they're like, hey, this is my starter from day one, so it just depends.
So it's a good matchup. First week is El Dorado, and then second week is Coronado. So
those are perfect matchups to have, in my opinion. But just moving forward, we'll talk about them later on. Here at the show, we got Del Valle, Canutillo, Eastwood, Eastlake, and Pebble Hills at the top 5, and then Coronado, Americas, Franklin, Riverside, and Andrews running at the top 10. People see Chapin not being on there. People see maybe Hanks not being on there. Hanks, we still got to see kind of what they have. Coach Lee's doing a great thing. But as far as Chapin or El Dorado, like I think you were saying that when we first posted this, is like, this changes weekly.
Yeah,
it changes all the time. So we're not gonna know.
Yeah, we're not gonna know who's defined. Well, we know who's number 1 right now.
Yeah, easily.
But at the same time, if Divide somehow loses, it's like, okay.
So would you consider it an upset if a 6A Mawa team beats a 5A Divide team? Would that be considered an upset? I don't
don't see
it
it
happening.
I don't see it as an upset because
It's 6A
it's 6A versus 5A, but I think Del Valle is that good to where they could play. They can play some teams in 6A. So I'm not going to say, well, yeah, that's going to be an upset. Or it's going to be an upset because Mount would be. No, like I expect Del Valle to win. I don't care if they 6A, 7A, or whatever. I expect them to win against Montwood.
I can see them going 9-1 or 10-0.
Yeah, I can see it too. I can see it.
Okay.
Is it the whole thing is the injury bug? If everybody can stay healthy,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go ahead and conclude the show with the pickings for the week for Friday, August 30th.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna go ahead and finish up with that. I guess one of the big ones per se is Horizon at Socorro at SAC2, opening up first official game, not scrimmages at the SAC2, 6:30 p.m. Just for you guys wonder why times are different is because of traffic and for parking wise. Because traffic is going to be crazy. So one game will start ahead of time and get more people there, and vice versa as far as it ending on time. It's going to be interesting. I can see Socorro getting more than one win this year. They play another team that they could possibly beat later on.
Cathedral.
Cathedral. So maybe they could see it turning around a little bit. But it's, at the end of the day, it's how they come out. So.
I met Coach Garcia at Horizon. I was really impressed with him. He's a young guy. He's got a lot of energy, and he's got vision. You can see just talking to him. He's excited. I think Horizon might surprise some people this year.
Well, shoot. I think Horizon will beat Socorro.
Think so?
I think so.
So you're gonna take Horizon. I'm gonna take Socorro on this
I'm
one.
gonna take Horizon because there's a lot of kids at Horizon that play youth football that's actually there and I didn't really know they were at Horizon. So I'm very interested to see how they play. I'm gonna go Horizon. That's my pick.
Another one that's interesting to me, next one on this is Burgess and Bowie. Because we're not sure if they've known her. Burgess got they're very young last year. And their running back, I forget his name, but he's back this year. I know a lot of it's gonna go through him.
That's a track kid.
Yes.
Caleb is his name.
I'm not sure, but he can run.
Yeah. He was like a freshman last year.
Yeah, he was.
He's playing sophomore.
He's got speed.
He has speed.
So and that helps a lot. And of course Bowie, that ground and pound, we're gonna come at you, drop your nuts. Who got the big ones, and we're gonna come at you. And somehow they always have that one or two guys that's just 6'4", 6'5", and ends up at a D1 school. We're like, what the heck?
So his name is Johan Camacho. 6'4", tight end. He played a little bit of slot there on 7-on-7. He looked good. I mean, he's catching everything. I don't know how it translates to tackle with him at that position, but I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Well, I mean, with the offense like that, you throw it to your tight ends a lot. Seams, corners.
Right. So he looked really good out there. I was really impressed with him.
Yep. And the big one down at that Lady at the Hill, one of our games of the weeks, our main game of the week is Austin at El Paso High. Why are they playing so early in the season? People are asking. Reason being is because Austin went down a district. So now they're now 4A, El Paso stayed in 5A. And watching the interviews with Coach Pichardo and the coach from El Paso High, I can't remember his name right now, sorry about that. But they say, you know what, we got to keep this tradition going. Why not just play week 1? I think that's good for them. Austin, I know a couple guys that they have over there. They got that real big Polynesian kid that just dominates people up front. Vaughn. El Paso High, I don't know too much. I'm going to take Austin in this one to go ahead and make it 8 straight.
I'm going to take Austin as well. I think Austin, that running game is going to be nasty.
With Sal.
Yep. With Sal. And then you have Vaughn.
Sal, and I think Jacob is back too.
Yeah.
Jake, the one that played for us in the offense. I think, because I know last year he was just doing the camera stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I think he might have came back this year.
I think so.
Because that makes a difference too, like a fullback spot.
Yeah, because my thing is too, they have what's that, Vaughn. I'm talking about Vaughn. Yeah. They have Vaughn. He's like not an up back, but kind of like a slot back tight end type, and they put him in motion. So we put him in motion,
like Trent Williams.
Yeah, and he coming, and I know the kid personally. He gonna lay the wood, and I know there's another Samoan kid on that team as well And I don't know if he's a freshman or sophomore, but he's as big as Von and he is strong. So.
And you know who I think is on there too? I know because his little brother plays for Prolific. His last name's Ferguson. I know he's there. He's a big basketball guy, but I know they play football as well. And then yes, I think that's definitely gonna be good for sure. And it always helps with that kind of offense having an experienced quarterback like you do in Anakin Torres.
Yep.
Who I think this is year 3 under this offense now.
Might be year 2.
Year 2.
And last year was his first year.
Okay, so
yeah, he threw up some good numbers.
Exactly.
Yep.
So year 2, I mean, you don't put up a lot of numbers in this offense,
Right.
Because you hand the ball off a lot, but footwork is a lot in that. So it should be fun with the Lady of the Hill. I think that's a place where people want to be at Friday night. The next one, Jefferson at Fabens. I'm gonna pick Jeff in this one.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna pick Jeff.
Not much to talk about. I think he's still there. One of our friends of the show, Zoel.
Yeah.
I know he's over there. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jefferson.
And Coach Martinez got something good going over there.
I think so too.
He's trying hard. He's really putting something together there.
And I think when you have kids that show that they want to buy in, I think kind of helps out a lot.
Let's go Silver Fox.
All right. Hanks at Irvin, or Irvin at Hanks. I'm gonna go Hanks on this one. It's a little bit hard because I heard Irvin's doing good, but maybe they'll shock people in 4A this year. Maybe they'll make the playoffs this year. But I think Hanks is gonna be too much. Coach Felice is gonna have those boys ready to roll week 1. I'm gonna go Hanks here down at Excalibur Stadium.
And shout out to I believe it's Tropicana Homes that's helped out Irvin renovate their locker room. I don't know if you guys have been watching it on Twitter. It's amazing.
Those baby blue uniforms are sick too.
Yeah. Irvin's on the up and up right now. Just on the social media side of things, you see a lot more Irvin than years past.
I'm gonna go against Hanks and I'm gonna go Irvin. Because I know Coach Elliott. I know their staff.
Yep.
I know what them guys bring, and just to see those kids motivated, they're excited and motivated. Like I have not seen Irvin like that. And that's good. That's good stuff in a long time. And you even got their alumni talking like, "Hey, we get a win, we happy." So I want to see. I can see Irvin upsetting Hanks. Yep. I think it'll be a close one because I don't think everybody think Irvin's going to be a cakewalk. And I think they're going to be tougher than what everybody thinks. So.
Okay. The next one, going down at the Northeast at Matador Stadium, right off of 375. You're going to get the Flooded Indians traveling down to play the Parkland Matadors. I'm going to take, I guess you could call it the upset here. I'm going to go with Isleta here. I think with sophomore quarterback and with, I forget the name of the coach. Martinez, him moving out to receiver, as well as having AJ out there as well. I think Isleta's going to be too much for Parkland. Close game.
Close game. I'm going to go Parkland. I think what Parkland got going on over there, those kids are motivated. Caleb. I think Caleb
Martinez.
Caleb is the difference maker on that team. He is the leader. He is the voice. He does a lot of stuff for that school. So I see him, them kids rallying up behind him, and they're going to take it.
Right.
So, but it'll be, like you said, it'll be a close one.
Yeah, I think Isleta is also they're gonna probably be the top team at 4A this year. One of the top teams, one of the top 4 teams, and I think they're gonna give Parkland a run for the money. But I'm going with Parkland as well.
Okay, now moving forward, make this one quick. Mountain View at Santa Teresa. I got Mountain View in this one.
Man, that's Coach Check. That's another guy that impressed me. He's out there and he's committed to that community. He's been out there his entire career, I believe. And he's got a good quarterback, and his last name is Solar, or Sol, something like that. And he threw up some big numbers. I'm talking about, close to 2,500 yards, I think, last year. I'm not sure, but
Mountain View does have a line.
Yes,
they have.
And the one that anchored off is Big Isaac.
Yep. I saw him in person. He's a big dude now.
Yeah, anchoring. I mean, his pops is a big dude too. So
he looks good.
Yes.
So anchoring down. Good. An interesting one here is Riverside at Big Spring. Only reason I'm going to pick Big Spring here is because I think the absence of Coach Recorder, it might play a big hit on Riverside. I don't know how big it is, but for being there for so long, I think it may take a little hit to them. I'm going to go Big Spring here.
I'm going to go Riverside.
Is it because you're wearing the shirt?
Well, that too.
Nothing against Riverside, by the way.
Yeah.
That's just me. I just personally
Hey,
think
I want to go Riverside, and yes, I'm wearing their shirt. You know, I was impressed with with the head coach and what they're bringing there, and like he has them boys that they missed a beat. They're ready to go.
Yeah.
They are ready to go. So I'm. It's going to be very interesting. Now I want to see too is it Tua?
Yeah.
Tua's playing quarterback.
Yeah,
so
I want to see that.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Are they switching or they're sticking with him? Do you know?
I don't know.
I think that's good because they can use his legs.
He's athletic,
Mm-hmm.
and they like he's tall. He can see things. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens. I think it will be Tua, but he has weapons. So
Right.
I think he'll be fine.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
I've,
Yeah.
I've never seen Toa play quarterback in the past.
I've always seen him play nose guard and tight end.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see the transition, right, from line to physicality to now you're leading the team.
But I think that's good though. Once they made that transition, he got plenty of time. To
Yep.
Yeah,
got
because
put in the offense.
they asked him to play, and he was like, "I'll do it." So
Yeah.
I mean, for him to do that, for not playing quarterback,
And he's a
that's-
great kid, man.
Yeah.
If you ever talk to that guy, he's a really great kid, man.
All right, so we're gonna move on with Andrews at Clint. So Andrews runs a slot tee,
Yep.
and they have kids that can move. I watched their playoff game last year. I believe it was against Mountain View, I think, and they ran them off the field. I think that was the game where their reporters called their kids like tortillas or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that game.
No, they said Taco Bell
Top.
or Chipotle or one of those.
No, they said something about like a tortilla or whatever, but it wasn't the reporters; it was a fan.
Yeah, it was.
But
It
it picked it
picked
up.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that team, and them boys got some horses. I mean,
Right,
they gallop. But that's gonna be a fast paced game because Clint runs that wishbone offense. So, but they're gonna play hard. Clint plays hard, so we'll
Yep.
see.
Yep, and they're playing down in Clint. So,
And they're playing at home.
So I'm gonna go with Clint.
Yeah,
I'm
same
gonna go
here.
with Clint with the
I'm
upset.
going home team.
Yeah.
Right. The next one we got Anthony at Sanelli. I'm biased. My best friend's the DC at Anthony. I'm gonna pick Anthony in this one. I'm super biased on that one. I'm picked it every week.
I'm gonna go Sanelli
Or what about San Eli?
or San Eli.
San Eli.
San Eli.
Shout out Brent.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Diego as well. They just got a new screen, so it's gonna be cool for those fans to go out there,
Yeah.
watch replays on that screen. I think
That's awesome.
And hold on, they play. Oh,
They play at Sanelli too.
they play-
Mosquitoville.
Yeah, Mosquitoville. Yeah. Hey, the mosquitoes don't play, so I'm out. Hey.
What I do know is that I know this offense is gonna give my best friend a headache because he's the DC because they're a triple option offense. So I know he's gonna have headaches over that.
Yeah, Coach Hernandez
I
spoke about
talked
that.
to him
Yeah.
and I know he's gonna have headaches about
Yeah.
it. All right, so I guess one of our big ones that we didn't really look at as we should have going down on the west side. One of two games going down on the west side this weekend. They're at Franklin Cougar Stadium. Chapin is traveling down there to take on the Franklin Cougars. I don't know who to pick. Only reason why I'm gonna pick them is just off of because they're playing at home first game. I'm gonna go with Franklin on this one. It's a hard pick, but I'm gonna per se pick them on this one.
So I have to agree with you on that. So I'm gonna pick Chapin. So
Right.
I'm gonna go with Chapin. I think what Chapin has, and there's some young kids on Chapin, and I think they're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think it's gonna be a good game. The thing is, I want to know if Franklin can stop that running game. Kerry Wade, Davion. I want to see if they can stop them. The thing is, I get it. Morales is a dog.
Right.
He is a dog.
I mean, as far as I know, in the scrimmages they caused a bunch of turnovers against Canutillo, who's projected to be top 2 in that district
Exactly.
this year. So,
And don't get me wrong, and I don't know. Like I said, I heard rumors. There's rumors, just like I said before, that Powers is hurt, but I hope he's not. But unless he's just out for a game, I get it. But they do have a Treyu at running back, and they also do have Jalen as well.
Williams,
Yeah.
Jalen Williams. Yeah.
So I know
Thunder and Lightning right there.
Yeah. And I know he plays DN too. I know him pretty well, but at the same time, I just think I'm going for Chapin.
Yeah, you have to, and it'd be good because you got a 4-year starter like you do in the linebacker. Started to see as a freshman from Franklin?
Franklin Guzman.
Yeah,
Guzman.
yeah.
Well, he's in
Guzman.
third year. He's a junior.
Third year.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a junior this year.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, that's dangerous. But yeah, someone like that who's a 3-year starter, that's something that's very good as well. Moving on to two of three games going down at the West Side this on Friday night. Pebble Hills is taking a trip down to the Smurf Turf to take on the Canutillo Eagles. I'm gonna be a little biased here. I'm gonna go with Coach Warner gets his first 6A victory. I'm gonna go with Pebble Hills here, and it's gonna be a dogfight going up against that stack defense, that number one defense in the state of Texas in 5A.
Oh, this is gonna be a hard one to pick.
TJ versus Z. That's what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
that's what I'm.
TJ versus Z.
And my thing with TJ, he's a hitter. He knows how he's controls that defense. But then that secondary too, they have Lalo back there, so it's gonna be.
I think Renee plays defense too, right?
Yeah, Renee does too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting.
I'm hearing Canutillo puts Lalo everywhere on the field, just
Have to.
offense and
You have to,
defense.
yeah.
He's all over.
You have to.
One thing that I've been talking to my boy about is that field.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't talk about it, but it's a very slippery field. So you got to adjust to that. Because that field, when we played 2 years ago, my boy was sliding all over the place. And I think you just got to adjust to it, man. Not every field's the same. So for whatever reason, that field is a little slippery. So
Yeah, I think the big question that people don't realize is that it's going to be a battle of first-year starting quarterbacks.
Yep.
You're going to have Matt Goska, who unfortunately had to sit behind Dylan Knox, but who was an awesome quarterback who earned his spot. Going there at Canutillo, and then someone like Joe, who's Joe Hernandez, which is his first.
Joe Fernandez.
I'm sorry. His first start, and it happens to be against the number one defense in the state of Texas in 5A, which is not easy at all.
Right.
But it does help having that safety blanket where you could just give the ball to him, let him pick up some yards. But
I'm like you said.
we'll see how they both manage that game. I think.
Yeah, like you said, you pick Pebble Hill. I'm gonna pick Canutillo. I'm gonna pick Canutillo based off their defense.
The
Like
defense.
their defense, they're returners. So I'm gonna go. With
And I think up front, I would say they're probably even in the box because you have Dorian, and then you still have Viper, and there's another DN who I didn't see scrimmage, a real tall kid. He's really good as well. And so that 3-4/stack defense that they run works out really well. And Viper's going to be a hard man to block, and Dorian just flies around, just hits people.
My thing with
hits people.
My thing with Pebble Hill's defense, I just want to see they're gonna adjust to that speed.
Yes.
Because Canutillo is fast. It's not just Lalo.
Yeah.
Renee is
Renee's
fast.
fast.
Lalo is fast.
Yep.
They got another receiver. I think it's I don't know his name, but I know it's number 2 or
And
something.
I know their freshman team was loaded last year, so
Yeah.
they might get some of those guys.
And
Yeah.
they're
That move up.
fast. So
Yeah, and not even that, but if you say fast, Goska could run too.
yeah.
Because if he's struggling throwing the ball, Coach Brooks ain't afraid to run his quarterback.
And he's a load.
Yeah,
He's a load.
yeah,
Big boy. Yep.
and he always been. Ever since I coached against him, he's always been like that. All right, Mauer at Del Valle, I got DV big in this one.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about. I got DV big. Sorry, A-Rod.
My thing is, I want to know if Manning's going to score 4 or 5.
And I want to know if Fetty's gonna.
If they're going to play him on offense for that long, for him to score 4 or 5, or he just first five drives. He
First
scores.
play of the game.
Yeah.
Manny touchdown.
Yeah.
And
Manny's a different athlete, man.
Yeah, he's
So is Manning going to be playing both ways, or
I don't know, but
So he got recruited to play safety at Utah.
okay? That's going to be
but hey,
But I don't see. But don't they have? Who's the other running back? Who is the?
it's Ezra Rocha.
Ezra, and then Abraham too. Abraham plays running back as well.
Okay.
So they have a plethora. They're loaded.
Abraham who?
He played with on that Broncos team.
Yeah, Abraham.
I gotta see.
He was always playing up.
He always played up.
Oh, Garcia.
Yes.
He's on that team too.
Okay.
And he was getting reps. I was watching it.
Okay.
So I saw pictures. And you have Ezra too. I didn't see Ezra in the scrimmage as much. I didn't recognize him. He may have been out, but that's something that too where he got bigger.
Yeah, Ezra was playing running back.
And maybe he goes back to his old self
Yep.
that we know when he was younger, when he was just dominating people. So
Yep.
And my thing too with Del Valle too, like you said, I said 4 or 5 touchdowns for Manny, but
Fetty.
at Fetty,
I don't know how much he's
my thing is
gonna go for.
he's gonna have all those. He has a receiver. He has
Yes,
a good receiving core.
Dylan, you got Matt, you got Johnny.
Nunez.
So
Nunez.
Yeah,
Nunez,
both
both of them, yeah.
So they have a receiving core. So And Fetty, if that's my thing, Fetty, if nobody's open, Fetty got them long
Man, he can run.
And he's smart too, because he'll get out if he has to.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people talk so much about DB's offense, their defense. That stacked defense, DB's running it for like the last 4 or 5 years, and no one finds a way. If you have a good knife, I call it a knife guy, like Matt Lopez, where he's so hard to block off the edge.
Yeah.
I didn't see Maltos out there. I don't know what's up with him. Hopefully everything goes well.
I think he was playing offense. He was at guard.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw him at guard.
But you have 3 linebackers like Max, Santibanez, and I forget the other one. But you got guys like that where they've been in the system for a long time now.
I expect big things for Santabanez.
Yeah.
And Max.
Yeah.
Max senior year.
Too.
Max looked like a grown man. Everything. I think their linebackers gonna look good. I don't know nothing too much about their D linemen, so I'm excited to get to watch them.
But I got DV big in this one.
Yep.
The big game at the sack won. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go to continue on as we all picked DV to win this game. Big game at sack 1 at 7:30 p.m. kickoff. The Andrews Eagles take their trip down 375 or the spur, however you want to take it, over to the sack to take on the El Dorado Aztecs with Ray, Joker, and Mr. Issa and company. Alma mater, I'm going to go Eldo in this one. I think Ray has a big game.
I'm gonna go Eldo, and the reason I'm gonna go Eldo is if Andrews can't stop Ray, ain't nothing you can do.
He's gonna open up.
It's gonna open up
Jadarius. He's gonna open up Joker.
Because if they're gonna load that box up, and then when they hit him with a play action.
My only concern about Aldo is
quarterback. To me, quarterback. And whether it's Issa, or whether
Booth
it's
or
Booth
or Damien.
Yeah, like who's gonna play quarterback?
Now I think their O line is going to be
anchored.
Their
O line has experience.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense too. David Martinez at linebacker,
and then I know they put Sanchez, which is one of my football coaches. His nephew, he's over there. He's playing. I believe he's playing tackle or guard, maybe too. But I think he was a Bronco kid. He was a
freshman.
Yeah. Oh no, he was a freshman last year, so he was a sophomore.
Oh, nice.
So, but he did move up to varsity last year. He didn't get that much playing time, but I think this year this is it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
we'll just got the size.
Yeah, we'll just see how
he has the size. He's a big kid.
Right.
We're just gonna see how El Dorado holds up against that area offensive Andrews.
I'm gonna pick Aldo as well. Just I think I don't think they've seen an athlete like Ray get in person. So
now if Andrews beats him,
Kudos.
Right, I'm surprised.
Hey,
shock the world.
I tell you this now, Melvin and Kenny, Andrews beats him. I wear an Andrews shirt. Next show, give me one.
There you go.
Yep,
Andrews shirt.
And I wear an Andrews hat.
You heard it there. As much as I've been dogging Andrews, I will wear a shirt next show. But you gotta let me know. Give me a shirt ahead of time, and I will wear it.
But like I've been saying, Andrews needs to be good in football, man. In El Paso, high school football, we need them to have.
Because they have a legacy of NFL players.
Ton of tradition out there, man. You can't have. Bad Andrews.
And one of the greatest coaches of all time out there too.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, Andrews got some kids out there that transferred and they looked apart. So
2 freshmen playing on Andrews too, right?
Yeah. 1
lineman and 1 slot.
Yeah.
Jacob and Avon.
Their defensive line. I think their defensive end. I believe he's 6'4". He's a tall kid, and he gets around that edge. So I'm gonna see what they're gonna do, but like I said, I'm gonna go El Dorado.
Well, earlier we were talking a little bit about America. So what do you guys? Yeah. What do you guys got? America's at Coronado,
down at the west side. Our third game on the west side. West side's gonna be popping on Friday. Yeah. Dang. Y'all better get there early. That traffic gonna be crazy. I'm gonna go Coronado on this one. They're gonna be too much, man. I see them maybe losing 2 games this year at most. Two or 3 games. Yeah. I just think whether it's West playing quarterback or whether it's Ben Wilson playing quarterback, I think it's gonna be too much.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Coronado. I do like Coach Pride. I do like that.
He took his time.
Yeah,
he took his time.
That community out there. You gotta have good teams at Coronado. You can't have losing records at Coronado,
especially with someone like Brooks and how he built them up. Yeah, that's the thing. I think with Coach Pride, and I love that dude, man. I used to play against him all the time, and that's the biggest thing is like he was so patient. Like he knew it was gonna come with bumps and bruises. Like he took those L's to the chin. Last year they lost a game games by like they were like 5 or 6 points away from making the playoffs last year.
Right.
And they ended with the upset to keep Americas out of the playoffs.
But Americas has a great coach, man, and Noy Robles.
Yeah, he does.
Great coach, man.
So,
Yeah, he does.
My thing too is this is probably America's get back game because they didn't get in the playoffs
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm.
But they lost a lot of kids last year too.
Yeah, but my thing is their line, America's O line, and their running game, and just Cam.
I mean, Cam's easily one of the best running backs in the
Yeah,
right. Easily.
If they can stop Cam, I'll give it to them. But as right now, I'm taking America's. I'm taking America's over Coronado.
That's a toss up, man. To be honest, you don't know what you're gonna get from both those teams.
Yeah,
I agree.
If like I say, if those white boys go out there and ball out, it's gonna be a long bus ride home for Americas. Cause and then you got Wes out there. You know, if he ends up starting that quarterback.
Yeah, he's starting his
This
his
is
career.
the perfect game. I mean, too.
Yeah,
and he has weapons, and he's
He
got
does.
the ball.
And composure,
And
7-on-7.
and he thinned out too.
Yeah.
Because he was a lot thicker. He thinned out, but he's still a load though too.
Yep.
You're gonna feel it when he runs.
Yeah, I think he's put in the work over the offseason. We've been watching him. His dad's done a really good job of promoting him and putting him out there. But yeah, I agree. This game is going to come down to, I think Cornell's going to pull this one off because I just think they got too many weapons, man.
I think I was impressed with Weston before we go to the next one. I was impressed with him. Was it 7-on-7 we did at Pebble Hills, and he was still an 8th grader. He came out there and he was slinging it, and I was like, wait a minute. Yep. I was impressed. I was like, okay, so
and composed.
Yeah, composed. Yeah.
All the kids were talking smack to him. He was just
like, all right, well, let me go ahead and let me do what I got to do. So.
That's good, especially out of 8th grader. But that comes with having that experience that your father had as well, because he's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
Well, Ed is not the biggest guy, so he dealt with that. So I'm assuming he got his height from his mom or someone's side of the family. But he to learn that composure, have something like that to learn the game from.
And he's still growing.
Yes, he's only
growing.
14 years old. Right?
Yeah,
a 14-year-old playing against 16 year-olds.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we talked about Eastwood and Bosco already. I'm gonna take, of course, I think I was gonna pretty much take Bosco in this one. As much as I want to pick Eastwood, I can't. As much as I want to go El Paso versus everybody, I can't. I gotta. And then to finish up. Game 1 of the recorder era at Bel Air, going down that Highlander Stadium, cue the bagpipes. He's trying to bring back that tradition, but I just think Eastlake is going to be too much. And if coach from Eastlake opens up that offense, they're going to be dangerous this year.
So that's going to be the question. Are they going to open up the offense?
Because you have someone like Trot that doesn't need to be running jet sweeps all the time.
Exactly.
Or they needs to be down, and then Luke could sling it.
Yeah, let him play. Let him play.
And let him cook. Because I coach, like we both coached him, and even at 12 and 13 years old, you still saw his mishaps, but he was slinging the pill.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'd go out there and let him sling it, and he has a great line.
Right.
He has a great
line. And then they're always talking about this one kid, CJ. Is that his name? CJ? The receiver?
Oh, their freshman team went 10-0 last year too. So they're gonna be young. I mean, they had like a real tall receiver that might be who he's talking about. And then
he's a senior this year.
CJ, I think he plays slot.
Yeah.
But he's I call him a scat back because he's quick. He's quick. My thing too is gonna be
Ethan Rivera too. There's a kid named Ethan Rivera who's a track star.
And then my thing is Trot is probably
it should be
probably
big.
their
I think offensive
receiver.
On him.
He's their best receiver.
Yeah.
It's gonna have to be around. I would say they put it around him. Don't get me wrong, they got all the other receivers too, but I think it'll be focal on him to get him the ball. But then at the same time, that will double him up, get some and open up the other speedsters.
I think this is most kids have their breakout years junior year. I think this is his year 2 breakout.
Yeah.
Freshman year he was getting thrown in there because they had a really solid team. Sophomore year he started, kind of wasn't. I think this year's the year that he really just.
Well, because I think he had a concussion one of those games.
Yeah, I mean.
And then Luke has the experience, 3 years starting.
3 years starting.
I mean, this is it right
here.
here.
This is it because last year he was kind of thrown under the bus as far as quarterbacks in 6A because you had those 4 studs.
Oh, yeah.
So now they're gone. So now he's top dog in 6A.
He's top dog in 6A this year.
And he's probably one of the most looked at guys in the city this year.
And then Eastlake's line, they are some hogs.
I think the thing with East Tech is that their defense is always fast.
Yeah.
Always. I think they're gonna have a good test week 2 when they go up to Central Texas.
I think week 2 they go up to Permian.
And then after that they travel again to go play Purple School. They play in
Liberty Hill.
Liberty Hill, yeah.
Yep.
They go out to play them, and that offense is wing tee, slot tee, and you get misdirection. And it hits so fast. They break the huddle, snap the ball in like half a second. So they break it and go and they go from there. So
one thing
that
that I
call the slot tee mafia.
I like that schedule that Eastlake put together for that team. It's a very good schedule. Get them ready for 6A.
Yeah. All right. So that is our week 1 show of year number 3. Again, I'm your host Chase Smith with my guy Ernesto Jordan. Again, the purpose of this is to promote every athlete as much as we can here in El Paso, Texas. Every school as much as we can. We show the love to all schools, county schools, 4A, 5A, private schools. If we hear about private schools, we show love to them as well. Shout out Da Vinci year 1 football. That's awesome. I heard one of their guys got an offer already. That's awesome. Congratulations to you, young man. But just, safe travels to Eastwood this week and any other team traveling as well. We pray for an injury-free year, competitive football, and remember it's EP versus everybody when it comes to postseason time. And during the season, beat each other up, postseason, cheer each other on. But as for your host, Trey Smith, my guy, Ernesto Jordan, see you guys next week.
I got to give a shout out to all the seniors, man. I know it's your last 10 games of your career for some of you. Give it all out, man. Go all out. Don't focus on the dumb things. Focus on the important things and, being a good teammate.
Stay away from the girls.
Right.
Seriously.
On Friday nights, go home, do what you got to do. Take care of your grades, do all that. Don't mess it up for something that you could have prevented. So, shout out to seniors 2020, class of 2025. So,
anything?
No, that's it.
Yep, and one more thing too. You guys ball out, you get player of the week, you're coming on the show.
that's right.
Simple. So whenever we reach out to you guys, please respond. We want to have you guys come out on the show, represent your school. We want to be able to talk with you guys. So again, we didn't have no one this week because it's our week 1. But hey, ball out this week. We're gonna try to switch it up each week. But if the same guy keeps balling out, he's gonna keep coming on the show because he's the only one producing. But other than that, we'll see you guys. Please comment, post, share everything you guys get on this. We want to keep on growing. This is for you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys next week. Trey Smith and Ernesto Jordan signing off.